What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Really Broke Podcast. I'm your host, Big Ken TV, and my co-host,
Jenny Ken. What's going on, y'all? Back for another episode. I ain't even keeping track no more. We just keep them coming, you feel me?
Episode 5.
Six,
7. Episode 6.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I think it's episode 6. Well, hey, coming back to you with another episode, and I appreciate all the support and watching my videos and everything, and all the likes and shares. Appreciate it. I know I say that every week, but I just want to, give shout outs to all the people that's supporting.
Because we appreciate y'all support.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. And all the ideas and stuff and ideas for the show and stuff that y'all want to hear and want to talk about. What we got today, man? Well, we know the big game.
Y'all see what I got on. I mean, as expected, my Eagles took care of business like I said they would. Belt to ass. It was blowout by halftime. It wasn't even a game. Jalen Hurts final Super Bowl MVP as expected. We just went in there and took care of business. We had a game plan. We stuck with it. And, we found a way to beat the Chiefs, the team that everybody's struggling to beat. So,
what I find interesting is no blitzes from the Philadelphia Eagles.
0. All 4-man rush.
Meaning, for those that don't follow football, what that means to me and to my son as big football fans, if you're getting to the quarterback and you're only rushing 4 men, that means your offensive line of the opposing players are getting punked.
Pathetic.
They're getting punked and ran through like a hooker on a corner. You understand? They are getting ran through. And he's still, with a 4-man rush, he's still getting sacked. He's trying to step up into the pocket. Defensive lineman crowded the pocket. Mm-hmm. He tried to go outside the pocket. They right there on a 4-man rush, not blitzes. You got to understand, when you do the blitz, you have an extra, you might rush a linebacker or you might rush somebody off the edge. So you got 6 people coming at you instead of 4. And sometimes that usually don't get to the quarterback. So you mean tell me you getting to Patrick Mahomes on a 4-man rush? That's crazy to me.
I mean, it was talks all year with that line. I mean, they was changing lineups throughout the season. You know what I mean? That's why, throughout the year, each game they barely coming out on top. They had it basically coming to the end. Or Mahomes lead this drive so we can win the game. You know what I mean? They weren't blowing teams out.
They weren't. So not like in the past.
We made Mahomes uncomfortable. I mean, he couldn't beat Mahomes. I mean, he had 2-3 turnovers. I mean,
and did you see the interceptions on
pick 6?
The pick 6s was
pick 6 by a white cornerback.
I mean, that doesn't make a difference, but
how many white cornerbacks are in the league? I mean, it is a difference.
The fact that he was so uncomfortable. I never really seen Patrick Mahomes turn the ball over like that. He's thrown interceptions, but he doesn't throw many. If you want to compare his stats to other great quarterbacks, he doesn't throw many interceptions. And for him to throw, I thought almost 2 in a row. I mean, I was like, what's going on with this cat? I mean, it's the defense. Was it the defense bringing that much pressure to him, or was it the fact that they fell behind so early and now because they quit running the ball?
Yeah.
So I think that's a combination of him being nervous about the defense and also he's behind.
Yeah.
And it's not like Patrick Mahomes has never been. I mean, most of his games have been fourth quarter comebacks, right. But this was different. Yeah. They were down 24-0 in the first half.
And I mean, it's a different environment.
It's a different environment.
It's a Super Bowl. This ain't a regular season game. You know what I mean? So the fact that they literally only ran the ball 11 times. And their leading rusher was Patrick Mahomes. How was your quarterback who don't even run the ball your leading rusher?
If I'm not mistaken, I think Pacheco only had like 7 yards.
Yeah, he had a few carries. Kareem Hunt had a few carries. In total, in a whole football game, they had 11 carries, which is not Chiefs football. Chiefs like to run the ball.
They do.
And the fact of, I mean, they didn't expect to be, down early like that. They're down 17, 24 rips. So obviously that changed the game plan. Now you got to play with some type of awareness. Like, hey, we got to, catch up. We got to throw the ball. And at that point, it was over. We had everybody locked. I mean, it's not like, Kelsey has been a ghost all year. I mean, the age is showing.
Yeah.
He looked like a scrub out there.
This might be his last year.
This might be his last year. Yeah. I would retire him if I would call it quits, buddy. Like,
because there was a couple of plays that the Kelsey of the past would have made.
Yeah.
Even the low passes. I've seen Kelsey lay down. I mean, that's like his specialty. Yeah. His lay down with the low balls from Mahomes.
You ain't see that.
You ain't see that.
Drops. He getting punked by the lineman. He ain't even moving people no more. He look like he just looking rubbish out there, man. Right. He out there trying to talk that talk. Like, nah, bro. Like, you had your time, bro. You ain't big dog no more.
Is it Taylor Swift effect?
I think Taylor Swift made that boy soft. I mean, the boy, he
need to go back to the thickness.
Go back to the other side. Like CJ
thickness.
said, yeah, Gardner made a post about that too. That's the funny part.
He need to go back.
He lost his swagger, man. I mean, everybody can see it, man. He lost his swagger, man. Shout out to Kelsey though, man. They don't take nothing from him. He's one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. From Cleveland, Ohio to ever. Ever. So it don't take away that. It's just the fact that these last couple of years, the whole Taylor Swift thing, man. You just lost your swag, bro. And I need you to come to the facts, bro.
I just want to know, how do you go from wearing Amiri and Gucci shoes to now looking like
to wearing Lululemon and shit? I don't know, bro. The man, it just lost his swag, bro. Bro, he used to have a beard with the fade.
What happened to the fade?
The sir, yes sir, mustache sheriff look. You know what I mean? Yes, we are. We know what. Obviously, we know what his race is, but it's the fact that if he came into the league with swag. He came from Cleveland Ohio.
He came from Cleveland Heights.
You feel me? He had swag.
He had swag.
He was dating. Black. So it was there. It just.
He was dating black females,
and
I think everybody knows that.
And you go to the Taylor Swift now. I feel like he had to.
He wearing like overalls and cowboy boots and shit.
And overalls, and beat up forces and shit. Like the forces ain't even clean no more. You feel me? They all tied up tight and shit. And you know what I mean? Like for real though. Like Kelsey, bro. Just admit it, bro. You know what I mean? So. And I feel like
and Travis, man, we love you, man.
Oh yeah, it's all love, bro.
It's all love. We just but we have a right to share our opinion. You Cleveland Heights, we Cleveland. We all brothers. But man,
bro,
there's a difference. I know you can look in the mirror and see you're not the same Travis Kelsey that you was in 2000 what? 15, 18,
even just a few years ago,
just
bro.
a few 2020.
Ever since he broke it off, well, girl, man,
with the thickness.
And got with Taylor, man, and just I don't know if he felt like he had to change himself for her or whatever the case. I'm not changing myself for nobody.
I'm not changing myself for nobody.
If this how I am, this how I dressed, and this is what it's going to be.
If I came in with a fade, I'm leaving with a fade.
Leaving with a fade. You feel me? Like crispy line up. You know what I mean? Now he just got he going to Great Clips now to get his hair cut. He ain't going to the barbershop no more. He going to Sports Clips. Best cuts. You know what I mean? So,
$6.99 back to school special.
Back to school specials and shit. So and it's funny because his ex was there. On some petty shit. She
in the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philly confetti and shit.
That was some petty shit
corny.
Though. That was some petty shit.
It's petty and corny because you still, in a way, showing you ain't over.
Right.
Buddy. So in a way, it's a bad look for you at the end. You know what I mean? But Kelsey, man, I just can you get the swagger back,
to bring the swag back, man.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I know we killed his moment too, man, because I'm pretty sure if they won, he was gonna try to do some type of proposal or whatever the case is. So I think we killed his plan. So
if he was gonna propose, you propose anyway.
Nah. You can't propose Taylor Swift on an L in the Super Bowl.
I mean,
that man was hurt.
The love of your life is bigger than the game, Kenneth. It's bigger than the game. It's the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong.
This ain't a love of your life topic.
But I think life events outrank any type of job or
this all
career.
a publicity stunt.
You think so?
He could have proposed to her and they would have been divorced by the next year or two.
Shit.
This ain't nothing.
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. This ain't nothing but a publicity stunt. I wouldn't be surprised if they broke it off soon. And I don't see them having no kids, not like that. I mean, Taylor Swift still has her career that she, you know what I mean. So I don't see that happening.
All right.
I'm just glad my Philadelphia Eagles took care of business. Like I said, it's crazy because I called a blowout. And it's funny because all the spotlight was on the refs all week, and they couldn't save them this time. They couldn't.
They tried
to.
But it was too obvious.
That early offensive PI. Like, how often do you call offensive PIs in NFL?
Yeah.
If anything, that was just a no call. Just let it be a catch, and you want to, throw the flag.
Well, I missed the play. Exactly what happened.
It was the Phillies' first drive, and they called the offensive PI on AJ Brown when he caught the ball.
Now, did he push the defender? Did he?
It was something that is a no call.
A no call.
Something that is often they don't call offensive PIs often in games.
Okay.
It's just the fact that it's the Chiefs, the refs, boom, they gonna throw it. But like I said, the refs couldn't save him from that ass whipping. So you feel me? It was coming regardless.
What was the score, like 40-something?
40-something. I mean, they got
like late touchdown.
Yeah, garbage time touchdown. You know what I mean? But I will say, I feel like Andy Reid got outcoached. The offense had nothing for us. Jalen outperformed Mahomes once again. He outperformed him last Super Bowl. The outcome wasn't the dub. We just took care of business. We literally, I mean, they even took out Saquon. I don't even think Saquon had 50, 60 yards. That was probably his worst game of the year or playoffs, we'll say.
Well, I mean, it was all on big plays.
Big plays.
I saw the highlights. I rewatched the highlights, and I forgot who's the receiver.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, beautiful throw.
That one
beautiful throw
where he into the end zone.
Beautiful in the basket.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some context. I normally I love trolling my son, right? So I troll him about who is the greatest basketball player. I troll him about his football teams. I'm not an Eagles fan, and I'm not a Chiefs fan. So to troll my son, of course, I was rooting for the Chiefs, and he talking big smack, back smack. But I will say this: it's about time that the NFL puts some respect on Jalen Hurts.
Yes, sir.
To be honest with you, I did want Philly to win, but not for the reason that you think. I wanted Philly to win. I mean, I wanted Philly to win, but I wanted Jalen Hurts to win. A couple of years ago, they was talking about trading this man.
Yeah, literally.
No. They were fielding offers. Like, it wasn't a rumor. They were trying to trade him. And Jalen stayed being a man. He didn't. I mean, he probably had his own internal, whatever he says at home, whatever, but he didn't show it in the camera.
For whatever reason,
he didn't show it on the field.
He always knows what to say. He always says the right thing.
He's always. I noticed that about dude.
When it comes to the press conferences and interviews, he just knows how to say the right thing. And people hate that.
And the thing is, when I watch his clips of his interviews and stuff, I see a guy that knows how to say the right things, but also is like on the inside, like, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all.
Right.
Yeah. Keep talking. Keep talking smack. And I'm gonna show y'all who I am. And I'm not an Eagles fan. I am a Jalen Hurts fan. There were a couple of years, I think it was like maybe last year. Not this year. Not this year.
But last year we had a rough patch.
Last year, Jalen was looking real iffy.
Yeah, iffy.
And it looked like he didn't have control of the team at times. Yeah. He was arguing with his wide receivers. And there was some distension in that squad.
Tension in the locker room.
Which I know this sounds like cliche, that probably brought them together even more. Once they talked it out, thought about it, and then bringing on Saquon. Saquon was the missing piece. Even though he didn't do much in the Super Bowl, he did a lot to get him there. He got him there.
I can say that. No, with the leadership of Jalen, but with the player Saquon got
if Saquon is on that squad, Philly doesn't get to the Super Bowl. Is that safe to say or no? Are you going to disagree with me?
I will say there's a chance that we don't win the Super Bowl. I'll say that.
Well, they really won a Super Bowl without him.
True, but I think we.
But do they get to the Super Bowl?
Washington. We beat Washington.
Who was your first round before you got to Washington? Who did you play?
Green Bay. We beat Green Bay without Saquon.
Yeah.
And we beat Washington.
Well, what about? Well, okay, that's them getting to the playoffs. But
no, hold on, no. First, so it was Green Bay, and then it was the Rams, and then Washington.
Yeah, but you also have to win so many games to even get to that point.
Yeah, so
do they win those games without Saquon?
I mean, of course, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, of course you would.
I mean, we still had we still, either way, running back or not, we still had the more complete team in the playoffs, in my opinion, defense and offensively.
Right. Well, I think we both can agree that Saquon was the missing piece for a chip.
For sure.
For a chip.
Even though he didn't put it on display in the Super Bowl, but like we said, he got us there.
The defense.
Defense as well.
I know Jalen got MVP, right?
Yeah.
The defense was MVP.
Yeah.
They stopped the machine. Because if you don't stop that machine, if you don't stop Mahomes, and if he was able to beat Mahomes and stuff, I could see Philadelphia trying to come back. Mm-hmm. But the machine just shut. I mean, he couldn't do nothing.
I mean, Casey almost looked helpless. Like they
were helpless.
They just couldn't do nothing. And it's like we're not used to seeing this.
And Mahomes didn't know what to do.
And everybody in the world,
Andy Reid didn't know what to do.
And everybody in the world had the Chiefs and you know wanted the 3-peat.
Here you go.
Know what I mean? And
I've been having to hear this stuff. I've been having to hear this yapping all damn week.
And we ended that. There will be no 3-peat on our watch. Okay. The only 3-peat we can talk of is basketball. Kobe's and the Jordans. That's it. Okay. NFL, it's not going.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Jordan had 2 of them.
That's fine. We talking about football.
I just want to throw that.
We talking about Jordan.
Jordan had 2 3-peats.
We talking about football now.
You know how hard a 3-peat is. You know how hard it is to get a 3-peat in any sport.
But I ask you this: Are you concerned as far as the Chiefs? I mean, is the run coming to an end, or I mean, there's nothing to worry about? This is just a Super Bowl they lost, and they'll be back next year.
No, I'm gonna give you a basketball example. I like where you're going. And I like this question. And my answer is no, they're not done. I'm going to compare them to Golden State Warriors. When they had their run against us and they won 3 out of 4. And
well, they won 2 and then lost the third one. And then they beat us for the fourth one. So
that's 3 out of 4, son.
Well, you were saying it as if they won 3 before they lost.
No. Just 3 out of 4.
Okay.
3 out of 4. No matter what order. And then I forgot who left. They lost some pieces. Durant. Durant had left. And then they came back.
Are you talking about the recent championship they won?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Are you talking about the run they had with the Cavs?
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they had great run. Kansas City run. Yeah. Okay? They lost. Durant left. They didn't go nowhere for like a year or 2, and then they won a championship again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm comparing it to. Kansas City had a run. They're going to have a 1 or 2 years in between, but they'll be back to win more Super Bowls.
Well, I thought it would have been a better comparison to the run we had with the Cavs because this would be in the 3rd straight Super Bowl they've been to. That's what I'm saying. So I thought you were kind of comparing it to the 4-year run the Golden State Warriors version.
No. I'm just talking about the team to beat. Oh, come on, we were a 4-year, but the team to beat was, from our point of view, was Golden State.
Yeah.
Cavs weren't the team to beat from Golden State's point of view.
Right.
Because they already won the first one. They were the team, from our point of view, they were the team to beat. Kansas City was the team to beat for Philly. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, and then they went through that lull where they lost, where Kevin Durant left, and they had Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. I mean, they had their core, but they weren't effective.
Right.
And then they came back on a year like that. I don't think anybody had picked the Warriors to win that year, and they won that year. That's what I'm saying. Kansas City had that run. They got beat. It's going to be a year or 2. They're going to bring in some pieces, and they're going to get back to the Super Bowl. Okay. That's my comparison. You with me?
Nah, I was just losing because
you always, you know what?
You were saying
kids just want to argue. Kids just want to argue with their parents like all the time.
Well, I mean,
like,
you just confused me because you had the Warriors had a 4-year run, KC hasn't had a 3-year run, so you were comparing
3 year, 4 year, 2 year. I'm just saying.
Warriors team,
I'm just saying
so
that
I was just confused. That's all. Because once we beat Golden State, they came back, brought KD, and won some more. So what I'm saying is,
was Golden State the team to beat that year?
KC beat back in the Super Bowl?
Doing that run was Golden State the team to beat?
What?
They were the team to beat. That's the team everybody was chasing.
Right.
In the East, they were chasing us. But overall in the NBA, they were chasing the Warriors. Yeah. Kansas City was the team that everybody was chasing for the past, 3 Super Bowls out of 5?
Yeah.
Kansas City was the team everybody's chasing. Philadelphia, the Rams, Pittsburgh, that was the team. That's my comparison. And I think that maybe a year, maybe sooner than 2 years. I would give them 2 years, but maybe not next year. Maybe not. I'm sorry, not this year, but maybe the year after they retool and they're back in the Super Bowl.
So they want to be back in the Super Bowl next year. Is what you're saying?
It just depends on how well this draft goes, because some people are only a piece away from defeat. Because even you said Kansas City didn't look the same this year as they've had in the previous 4 years. They're winning games by 3 points, late quarter comebacks. 2 years ago, they were blowing teams out. The game was over. The game was over in the third quarter.
But they still find ways to win.
They still find ways to win. But how?
I don't really see anybody still being a threat in the AFC. I mean, you already know how I feel about Lamar. I've been ready to have the conversation.
You don't think Buffalo can beat them next year?
He hasn't. How many chances is you gonna keep giving Josh Allen to beat KC? What is he gonna have to get home field advantage? Is it gonna be?
I thought they did have. They didn't.
KC
he's gonna have to get number 1 seed.
So I mean, looking at that, versus KC being an NFC is different. I just think KC just owns AFC. So unless Cincinnati finds a defense, maybe Cincinnati. Because I had Allen at MVP, but I still have Allen, but it's still close. Like Burrow is like right under Allen. In my opinion, I'm giving him the edge because he won MVP. But I just think it's still KC's conference to win. I mean, I'm just not a believer in Lamar Jackson. So that's just how I look at it.
Me neither. I mean, I'm a Browns fan through and through, so I don't like Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
And Pittsburgh, and they about to get rid of Russell, and we ain't worried about Pittsburgh. We need to worry about our own shit. But I'm gonna let you bring up the next topic.
I will say, I hate Pittsburgh Steelers with a passion. I hate Baltimore Ravens with a passion. But if Cincinnati gets to the Super Bowl,
hell no, I'm not supporting.
You don't root for Cincinnati to win the Super Bowl?
They're not the Cleveland Browns. You know how they be dogging us. It was one of the late coaches back in the day. They're like, "Oh, this ain't Cleveland. You ain't about to trash this state. This ain't Cleveland." Nah, they disrespect us just as much.
Don't we have a winning record over Cincinnati?
Yeah, we own Cincinnati.
We own Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's
like a little brother.
Green days, they kind of owned us.
Yeah, Baltimore recently.
But recently, yeah, we own Cincinnati.
Even with Joe Burrows.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you bring this one up. I'm not too excited about this next.
The Super Bowl halftime?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna let you go ahead and lead it.
No,
I mean, you already know. Come on now, what team I'm on?
The people want to hear it.
I know.
The people want to hear it.
Go ahead, bring it.
This is what you came here for, right? The people want to hear it. It's provocative. It gets the people going. What movie is that from?
I want to say, was it?
Is it a Will Ferrell movie?
Yeah, I think it was Step Brothers?
It's provocative. It gets the people going. Right. I don't know what movie that's from, but
they had it. It was they had it in that one song with Jay-Z and Kanye.
Yeah, but I was quoting it. I was quoting it because it was just a funny line.
It was like Step Brothers.
Was it Step Brothers?
It might have been.
It's provocative. If anybody knows, hit my DM. Let me know what movie that's from.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
I think it's Step Brothers.
Let us know. So, the big controversy around the Super Bowl halftime show, everybody knows Kendrick Lamar, the Drake beef. There were a lot of mixed reviews online about how good the Super Bowl halftime show was. You have a lot of people that did not like the Super Bowl halftime show. You had people
I'm gonna give it 2
that did not understand the Super Bowl halftime show.
Indeed.
And the people that didn't quite get it, didn't quite understand what was going on, you don't look like me. They were confused. They're used to, jamming and in my opinion, I really do think the Super Bowl halftime should be a time for enjoying music and celebrating, not really giving a message, not really the message thing. In my opinion, I really don't think it's a Super Bowl. Right. Everybody wants to have a good time. I get what Kendrick Lamar was doing, what he was saying. I just feel like if you're going to do a Super Bowl halftime show and you're going to play that song, the diss track, whatever, that's fine. But also have some tracks that people are familiar with. Go back to your old albums. Go back to the ones that sold, 10 million, 15 million or whatever that people are familiar with. Not this
this obsession.
Not these beef tracks that the majority of the Super Bowl audience attending doesn't understand what you're talking about. And so did you literally see, nobody was moving their heads.
They showed multiple camera angles. It didn't seem like the crowd was moving.
Because you know why? They were confused. Now, when he dropped Just Not Like Us, the stadium went crazy.
Of course.
Why is that? Because they're familiar with that song and they know what was behind that song. Right. Whether you were a Kendrick hater or a Drake hater, you knew what that song was about. Yeah. But when you go to the previous tracks, you're not familiar with the stuff that's on the album.
You still have people that are, and then you have people that don't. I knew all the songs he played, but
come on now. We're talking about the majority of the Super Bowl crowd in attendance.
You got to think it was still. It was in New Orleans. It was down south.
Let me tell you something.
You're gonna get a majority of something.
Let me tell you something. The Super Bowl could be right here in Cleveland. Okay, right here at what's our stadium called?
First Energy.
First Energy.
Well, no, it's something else now. I don't think it's called First
Energy. It could be down near at First Energy, and I bet you only about 10% of Clevelanders could afford a ticket to get there, and the rest of those tickets would be sold from outside the state.
No, that is true. I wasn't even thinking about price wise. So yeah, you're right.
Nobody in Cleveland. People that's balling and hustling and doing anything. Yeah, it's a small percentage of that though, compared to a 60,000 seat stadium. Yeah, can afford to pay $2,000, $3,000. You want to bring somebody, don't you? $3,000 for one ticket.
More than that.
5,000, 10,000.
And we ain't even talking close up. We talking like
no, those are nosebleeds.
Those
are nosebleeds,
and maybe a little further down.
And if you want to bring your kids, come on. Nobody in Cleveland is doing that.
Y'all on a payment plan, kids.
No, Klarna.
Y'all on
Super Bowl tickets on Klarna.
Wait, just know when y'all start working, y'all about to be paying me something every month
for
the rest of your life, basically.
For an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, but for an experience of a lifetime.
I don't know whether I will. Will we ever make a Super Bowl? I don't know. I want to. You know what I'm saying?
If I gotta put that. If I gotta put it on Afterpay, if
the Browns make the Super Bowl, I'm selling the kidney. I'm selling the kidney to get to. If the Super Bowl, you know what? I'm only going unless the Browns in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say that right now.
No, I'm with you.
I'm only gonna go if the Browns somehow make it to the Super Bowl before I'm old, decrepit, and I can still walk and breathe. I'm selling a kidney, a leg, whatever, to get me a ticket. I'll be a hopping, in pain person.
I'm gonna be in the handicap section.
Watching my Brownies in the Super Bowl. I can't even clap. I got one hand. I can't even clap.
Like,
I got one hand because I sold it.
Can you clap for me?
hey, put your hand with mine.
Can you clap for me?
Yeah. I'm serious, man. The Browns get to the Super Bowl, I'm going. Because that would probably be your only chance to get to the Super Bowl. You probably only get there one time.
Yeah, but that would just be realistically the only reason I would want to go. But
anyway, what's your take on the Super Bowl halftime show?
I thought, I honestly, it's outside of the beef. I thought it was a very mid performance.
He's a Drake fan, y'all.
It has nothing to do with me being Drake. I just thought it was a mid performance. I mean, we've had mid performances before, so I can't call this a mid performance because we know what it was directed at.
I don't know. Pretty recently, the Super Bowl performance has been fire. Yeah, it depends. I like the Weeknd when he did it. It was fire to me because I'm a Weeknd fan. Well, I'm a Weeknd fan.
I thought the Drake one and all that was weak. It was mid.
The Snoop Dogg 50 Cent Drake?
Mid. That's just you being, that's your time of music. Of course, you're going to gaslight it, but just be realistic. I mean, it was just kind of mid.
It's no gaslighting
because
at all.
it's more about production and everything,
show.
But it's more into performances. I just didn't see the creativity with it.
It was a great, the Dr. Dre 50 Cent Eminem Super Bowl halftime show a few years ago was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
It was boring. I even thought the Usher shit was kind of mid. And man, he out there in roller skates and shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Because you got certain people that set high standards. I mean, MJ literally stepped onto the stage. He ain't even do shit. The crowd just going nuts.
You talking about Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
You can't compare Michael Jackson to anybody.
I'm just saying.
You can't compare that man
the standard is set. It's already been set high. So like I look at these performances. I just look at they're cool. They're okay. They're nothing.
Michael
crazy.
Jackson, let me tell you something. Michael Jackson was the only entertainer that I had ever seen. Whenever he stepped out, women were crying and passing out. I never seen Drake and people just. I'm talking about literally had to call the ambulance. They passing out. They're screaming. I won't even say Drake. Any of my favorite artists. I've never seen that. That was a time when Michael Jackson was the Thriller days. That was a time.
Yeah. So I mean, I just but I mean, I thought it was very mid. I mean, Kendrick showed his weird obsession with Drake. I mean, that was the whole point of the show to get to that song. But I do, throughout he had a couple messages. He had couple of exes out there. He had Serena out there, Serena Williams, crip walking on a Drake grave, which I thought was very weird. And the Serena name is big, and you doing some shit like this is just very weird to me.
Well, she is from Compton.
That is true, but
she is from Compton. And Kendrick Lamar is from Compton.
I mean, I get all that, but it's just very weird in my opinion. I mean, your name is bigger than that, and you still showing that you still tripping over this ex, as in Drake, and you a whole married woman. Like, I just thought it was just weird.
Yeah, but for all those people that were being negative about her crip walking, and I didn't see the halftime show. I saw highlights. Mm-hmm. She does this at Wimbledon. She was doing this before she dated Drake. She always crip walk at her Wimbledon meet after a win.
Right.
After she won the whole thing. She's known for doing that. This isn't nothing new. This wasn't something brand new. She did that before she even was messing with Drake. So I'm not surprised about that. I don't believe it was anything that she put together. I think it was more of, hey, it's Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. This is Drake's ex. Why don't we have her crip walking, doing whatever? I don't know what you said.
But it was
on a Drake grave.
Yeah, so the crip walking wasn't a thing. I'm hip to that. It was just the fact that you had her out crip walking over a Drake grave.
It was actually a grave and it said Drake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it.
That was the whole. That's the point I was making.
That's
so
crazy.
I just thought it was just weird. I'm sure, Sean,
I'm sure somebody came up with that. I'm sure somebody came up with that. I'm sure Kendrick came up with that, probably.
So, but then there was also messages towards Trump, because I believe Trump left at like halftime.
Yeah, he left at halftime. He's a Chiefs fan.
And Well, is he a Chiefs fan or just because they're just they were just a team? I don't necessarily think he was the Chiefs fan. I just think they were just a team of football, so he's going to be there for whatever the winner team is, type of deal. And on top of them getting blew out of half, and then Kendrick's performance with the whole Samuel Jackson and all that, Shannon, they had it was a whole lot of messages people didn't realize that was through the performance.
In the Sam Jackson, hold on, let me see if I got a clip of Sam Jackson's intro. If you can get Sam Jackson, hold on, let me see, will this work? If you can get Sam Jackson, all right, don't forget, this is the Really Bro podcast, so we always have technical difficulties, but. So this was Sam Jackson's intro for Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. Now, was there more to it than this?
Well, it was just him coming out as a black Uncle Sam. That basically was the big deal.
That was a big deal. Like I said, it was many messages sprinkled throughout Kendrick's. That's why it's hard for me to say now. Looking at it from an objective view, I'd be like, yeah, this show is mid. Looking at it from a subjective view and from what I know and how I feel about it, knowing what he was trying to do, it was a good Super Bowl halftime show. So it's a split for me. On an entertainment value,
it was a mid performance.
I would say on an entertainment value, I would say 6 out of 10.
It was a mid performance.
On a message, on getting his point across and doing what he's trying to do, it was an 8 out of 10.
But you got to think, how often are Super Bowl performances based around messages?
No,
so we can only bring that about this one.
But guess what?
Overall,
we're talking about it.
No,
we're talking about it.
Overall performance, it just was a mid performance.
I think Kendrick accomplished what he wanted to do. They're still talking about it. They're going to talk about it next week. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what you do when you do these Super Bowl halftime shows. You want people to keep talking. You don't want people to just look at your performance and forget about it. And the ones that the performances, the controversial ones are always usually the ones that people remember. Nobody remember, oh yeah, great show, and then they go on to the next thing. Right. When it's something that people don't understand and there's questions and they're seeing shit online, that's what prolongs the remembrance of your performance. What they say is no such thing as bad publicity. Right. So I think that's true in this case.
It was just, it just was a different situation for this. It was a diss song.
I know.
It's a different scenario than any other message or whatever people try to do or whatever.
But I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible that a diss song got this much traction.
It only got this much traction because it involved Drake. Let's be real. Drake got Kendrick rapping again. Let's be real. I'm gonna say it. So Drake didn't lose at all.
Kendrick.
I need people to go back and listen. Just go listen. Just go sit and listen to Family Matters.
Kendrick had his run. He did. It's not like this is what I don't understand. You can't play Kendrick like he wasn't selling 10, 15, 20 million records and he had a 5-year run. He had a run. He had a great run. Probably more than 5 years. So trying to play this dude like he just got on the block and he got lucky with a song is incorrect. It's incorrect.
Very correct. Because where was Kendrick before the whole Drake beef?
Chilling, enjoying his millions.
We weren't talking about Kendrick
on the couch enjoying his millions.
Your job as an artist to drop music, drop albums
on the island in Turks and Caicos, chilling.
So the fact that we got into this booth, whether the case is whether you saying Drake and them started or
Drake started it though. Drake started it.
They've had beef for a long time. You can say the recent might have been Drake, but they've had beef longer than people ever knew though.
I think Drake did not anticipate how strong Kendrick would come at him and how his song would take off. How he could have, you know what? He could have been in the studio just like us, came up and it was like, no, we're going to do something else. And that might not have hit. He just said, hey, this is the one, right? They're in the studio. They're cooking it up. He made it specifically for Drake. And they said, yeah, this is the one. Be honest with you, it's a mid beat to me. It's grew on me because it was played 24 hours a day on the radio.
Overkill.
But at the same time, I'm talking about compared to other, like No Vaseline and all of the diss tracks and Tupac, compared to those songs.
But it's not even better than them type of diss songs.
It's definitely it's a diss song on a pop beat.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's a pop beat.
I mean, it was a hit.
Exactly. So I don't think Drake anticipated that Kendrick song would translate into what it is. That's why he was like suing the companies and shit for overplaying it and all kind of monopoly shit and all that, which is a weak move to me. Nobody should sue anybody over a diss song. This is hip hop. This is hip hop. You don't sue anybody over a diss track because you got cooked. If you got cooked, you got cooked. Then you come back and cook him. You don't go to lawyers talking about stop playing the song because it's cooking you. That's just my opinion. Hip hop doesn't do that. I've never seen that before or heard that before. I've heard people take their, you know what?
You never heard it.
You remember?
It's never been.
Do you remember? But do you remember when? Do you remember when Pusha T cooked Drake? He cooked him on that one song. I didn't hear him saying sue Kanye West and Pusha T because the song didn't take off like this one did. So to me, it's like, oh, it's cool until you publicly getting cooked, which is bullshit because that's what beef is. There are no rules in beef. No violence, of course. We don't, keep it strictly on track, keep it strictly to the music. But when it comes to a track beef, song beef, there are no rules. And everybody talking about, well, you bring in the A minor and talk about this. There are no rules in a diss track.
It is rules.
There are no rules in a diss track unless
it's false information.
Unless it's not.
He took off on false information. Did Drake ever have a damn daughter? That was Kendrick's whole big thing. Oh, daughter. Where's Drake's daughter at?
I think he's making fun because Adonis kind of looked like.
Nah, he made it seem like Drake had a whole daughter. I mean,
he got.
Nah, it had nothing to do with Adonis. He talked about Adonis, and then also went and talked about a daughter. Where's the daughter at?
How do we know that she doesn't exist?
That Drake is a pedophile and things like that.
No,
this man won by a popular vote off because the song became a hit.
It doesn't matter.
All I'm saying is, go listen to Family Matters again and really listen to that and really listen to it.
That's a song by Drake.
That's Drake. This song he did on Kendrick.
That was before. Was that the response to Just Like Us?
No, that was before. He dropped it around. No, he dropped it and then Kendrick dropped. But that was the problem. Kendrick hurry up and dropped something to take everyone's attention from that damn diss track, and not like us just blew up because of the beat and how it was. It was
a pop song.
It was a pop song. And turned into a hit.
It was the definition of a hit.
Go back and listen to Family Matters. Like Drake, not only was dissing Kendrick, but dissing other rappers. Name me another rapper that was getting dissed by other rappers and dissed them on the same track. Beef's been between one and another rappers. He dissing other rappers on the same track. He dissing Kendrick. Is my whole point. That's why I will never say Kendrick won, because Kendrick didn't win.
I mean, he won.
He didn't win.
But I am a Drake fan. So I am a Drake fan, but he lost that one.
He didn't.
He lost that on the biggest stage.
God gave everybody a reason.
On the biggest stage, he lost that.
He didn't. Agree to disagree for sure.
I think now, it kind of needed to be done because at one point it looked like Drake was invincible. Even with the Pusha T thing, he still kind of like was able to brush that to the side.
And even with this, he's still invincible. So He ain't hurt. He's number one on every chart. That's the whole thing.
No.
He's number one on
That's
these
not what I'm
charts and
saying.
everything.
That's not what I'm saying.
The same thing. Same night. The diss track sound.
I'm not
he
talking about
became
financially.
Diamond in five other tracks.
I'm not talking about financially or even career wise. I'm talking about how people look at him. Certain people, I've even talked to certain people talking about, they don't like look at Drake's music as the same. I mean, I get it because it's kind of like Drake has a different type of music. It's not typical. It's not hardcore. It's not hardcore at all. But you got hardcore people that listen to it, is what I'm saying. So he was able to transcend his audience with his lyrics and his production to where he wasn't gangster. He's never been gangster. But he's been on tracks with other people that have been gangster. Lil Wayne, the whole Cash Money thing, all that. Money. But he surrounded himself with that. He's never himself been gangster. But you had gangster people that was rocking with him 100%. And then you have those same people like, nah, he's soft. He blah, 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 blah. Like I said, I'm a Drake fan. So I really don't care about.
So Kendrick gangster?
No. Kendrick's not gangster. But the thing about I didn't say, I never said he was gangster.
I'm just asking the question.
No. You missed my whole point. You missed my whole point. I never said he was gangster. I said the gangster people that was listening to Drake now have a changed opinion of him. I said he was the only artist, like pop artist. I know you don't like that word, but he's a pop hip hop artist that had everybody rolling with him because his music kind of reminds me of, you know what his music reminds me of? And I am not comparing, don't hit me up. I am not saying this at all.
What, Michael Jackson?
No. Tupac. Not this, and let me explain. What I'm saying is Tupac, he had you ready to rob a corner store next, and then have you crying outside your baby mama house the next, or he have you in all these different states of emotions because his songs weren't one way; they were everywhere. And Drake is the same way. Like with Marvin, he have you ready to go out to the club, you pop, and then next thing you know, you in a room crashing out, smoking cigarettes, crying to yourself, talking about what went wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I compare the two, because Tupac, to me, he was the first one. That's what made him Tupac, because he transcended his audience, and he had different avenues, and he had a fan base made up of different different fan base. And I think Drake is the same way. His fan base does not look all the same. He has a hook in almost every genre. You understand what I'm saying? Even people that hardcore country listen to Drake. People who listen to hardcore rock listen to Drake. You know what I'm saying? Hard gangster hip, and that was my point. People that listen to the gangster, the most gangster of hip hop, listen to Drake. They might not tell you that, but they listen to Drake. They stream his shit when he drop. So,
me personally, I just think it's a light skin thing. So, I mean, that's what we're really talking about. Because if Drake wasn't light skinned, we wouldn't be blowing it up like this.
A light skinned person saying it's a light skin thing.
It is. That's all. Everybody hate because the light skin on top. That's all it's about. Name me another light skin that's been at the top of the music game. You can't. That's all I'm saying. But let's get into this this Big Meat situation or whatever the case is. He came out and he came out and dropped a second video.
Let's first talk about it. I know we talked about it last week, but just to backtrack on it. 50 Cent is the biggest of trolls. We know that.
The troll goat.
You never want to have beef with 50 because the beef won't end until either he's dead or you're dead.
Basically.
Ask Ja Rule.
He's still trolling his ass.
As Young Buck, the game. Yeah. As the game. You know what? Ever since him and 50 fell out, think about it. And I never thought about it. Ever since him and 50 fell out, game been trash.
I ain't gonna fake. He can continue to troll game because I already knew what he was doing before he got put on. So we all
Who you talking about?
The game. We all know
what was he doing before.
We all know what he was doing. He was so called. It was rumored he was male stripping.
I never been a Game fan,
so
I really don't like the Game.
They never listened to Game. He definitely dropped some hard shit.
I did
before.
listen to just because I listen to somebody don't mean I'm a. When I say a fan, that means I'm a fan. Like, hey, whatever they drop, I want to buy it. I want to listen to it. I listen to his music. I'm not a Game fan. I'm a Drake fan. Even you know that. What we say when Drake dropping tonight, all right, let's stream it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Drake fan. I'm an old school hip hop fan. I like The Weeknd too, even though this last album was trash. Don't shoot the messenger.
You couldn't wait. You was hyped about it too.
Yeah, it's just too much. You need to go back to the soulful stuff, man. It's just too much. He's trying. Listen, he's trying to. Listen, the only person that could really mix and continue mixing pop and soul was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He was the only one that truly knew that formula. Everybody else that tries that formula hits or misses. You know what I'm saying? And actually, if you listen to a lot of his songs were Michael Jackson sounding. Yeah. The 80s sound. And I could tell, like, you trying to be like Michael Jackson. You can't try to be like Michael Jackson. You it's impossible. The only thing you can do is have your own formula and blow up similarly.
Take off.
But the chances are it's like 99% not happening.
There will never be another MJ is basically what we're saying.
No, not because, in that sense.
Because the music world has changed dramatically.
Yeah. It won't be another Michael Jackson. No. I don't care what anybody say. Listen, I love Chris Brown. You know, I even listen to his songs. I listen to it. I stream this music.
There'll never be another Chris Brown. We can say that.
You can say that.
You can say that.
I'm not against that.
Yeah.
But you can't compare him to Michael Jackson.
Well, in his earlier years, I mean, you had the comparisons, but
I remember when they tried to do Usher. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Usher.
they had Ushers too.
No, they tried it. They tried it. Just like they tried with Chris Brown. They tried it, but no. No.
I think it was just more of the dancing impact.
That's all it is. It was the dancing. It was the dancing thing. But if you're talking
performances and stuff like that.
But if you're talking about music and catalog and singing,
can't see Usher doing no pop shit.
No. I mean, he tried. Yeah. What was that shit? Yeah. Whatever the hell that shit was.
That's just Usher. That ain't Usher, baby. That's just Usher. So it ain't Usher, baby. Nah, that's just Usher.
What was we talking about? Big Meat.
You got the little video he came out with. His response.
50 Cent's trolling Big Meats. You know, 50 Cent did the show with the BMF, and you thought they was all tight and everything. Big Meats was still in jail, I think, when this happened. And 50 Cent had his son Little Meats play Big Meats in the BMF series. It was a fantastic series. Everybody watched it. I never watched the episode. My daughter watches it. She likes. My son watches. Did you watch BMF? Yeah. So my son watched it. I don't really listen. I'm a 50 Cent fan. Okay, but I never watched any of his Power or any of that stuff. But
crazy.
But everybody knows, if you follow music, that 50 Cent always had beef with Rick Ross. So recently, Big Meats took a picture at, I think he was being promoting Rick Ross's car show that Rick Ross has every year. And so 50 Cent said, basically, you a rat. You and this is allegedly, we don't know. I don't know too much about the story, but basically 50 Cent was saying, you a rat. You doing shit for clout. Matter of fact, we about to end the show. We not even doing BMF no more. And so Big Meats recently came out and he had a little response to 50 Cent's accusations. And like I said, this is the Really Bro podcast, so give me a second.
Because I'm not going to address this. Because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family to come out to the Amaran Arena.
So basically, Big Meech was saying he never ratted and everything because that was the insinuations of how he had 30 years. He only did like 20, 15 to 20.
He had like 8 or 10 some years
10 years left. And so when he first got out, that wasn't the narrative. But I think as stuff started to sour, I think 50 Cent put that shit out himself. Because he's starting to come up with all of these like people that said he did, and people online are talking about, I heard this, and a third. I think that Meech was in jail. I don't really think he understood how big the 50 Cent and Rick Ross beef was. And like Little Meech said, Meech was just trying to get a little bag. Right. He wasn't trying to offend 50 and such. And I really honestly think that, Meech didn't really care about the beef between them two. He just seen an opportunity to make a bag with Ross, make a bag with 50, and maybe he wasn't hip to like 50 Cent pettiness. And 50 Cent canceling the show, I don't know whether that hurts him or not. I know that him having the show put money in his pocket, put money in his son's pocket, put money in his pocket, because he had to sell the rights to his life, and there's a bag that comes with that. Yeah. So I don't really know what the whole situation is. 50 Cent saying, he did this and he did that. Look, man, I just think everybody just needs to come together. You got an opportunity to get a bag, get that bag. Put that money in your pocket. Don't really worry about what other people got to say. It's crazy out in this world. Certain things, you say certain things, you do certain things. It's crazy how that can affect your bag in today's times. In the 80s and 90s, it wasn't like that. You can basically say what the hell you wanted to say. Shit, I grew up with the Sanford and Son and Jeffersons and all that. And those were the most racist fucking shows ever. You know what I'm saying? And Archie Bunker and all that shit. And they was saying some wild shit on there. You seen the clips? Yeah. They was saying wild shit on there. You can't do that anymore in 2025.
People sensitive and take stuff
too fucking sensitive. You can't tell jokes anymore. It's stupid. It's stupid.
You gotta understand. We all know. We all know who 50 Cent. We all know who he is.
We all know who he is. Troll
God. He's petty as hell.
Petty. Puts the P in petty.
So once you got a beef amongst 50
it's beef
and
forever.
Ross,
it's beef for life.
It's beef for life. You know what I mean? There ain't no ending, no nothing. You know what I mean? So he
no
gonna
apologies,
hold
no I'm sorry,
forever.
No I'm sorry, no none of that shit.
So coming from him, he gonna look at that. You taking pictures with this dude, and you getting some money from this dude, but at the same time, I've been putting money in your pockets. I put your son on. He basically the main star of the BMF show, and putting money in his pocket, and shit, just helping the family in period while you been locked up. And all of a sudden now you getting released. You know what I mean? Like, you still had about 8-10 years left.
But I don't think that was an issue for 50 until after he took the picture with Big Meech. I think he already knew about all of that. I think when he took, when Big Meech took the picture with Rick Ross, that's what set him off.
Right.
I don't think he was worried about that before.
But I'm just saying that just all adds into it though.
Yeah.
So you can be like, you take people Ross and your ass got out 10 years. I didn't know what the hell you supposed to do. I'm gonna look at you as like a rat. You told on somebody to get out.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying it just all is connected. Is what I'm saying. That's what. But I'm not saying that was the main emphasis. I'm just saying my perspective. I'm just saying though, 8-10 years, you coming out saying you ain't never told Fold, bro. Let's just keep it 100, bro. You had 8-10 years left, bro. And you told something. You told something, dog. And it's the fact that it's the fact that bro, we know what Big Mitch is, and whatever. The dude was a drug dealer, bro. Like, and they celebrate this man like he was a national hero or something.
I agree.
I don't get it.
Me neither.
I don't understand. I know the history of it. I know he, with all that, the drug dealing, he was in some type of
I don't understand the streets obsession with this situation.
The obsession is crazy. Like, you throwing this nigga a whole big ass kickback party, welcome home party for what?
Why don't you throw a party for people that graduate from nursing school or med school or lawyer school or
sold drugs and killed dudes?
Where are the parties for the dudes that do for the community?
Just like the whole, I don't be understanding the key to the city. Why are you constantly giving it to rappers?
Meech got a key to the city?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm like,
Chicago just gave the Dirk, and then look what Dirk into now. Like, I don't understand the obsession of getting rappers the keys to the city.
No. I have no problem with them giving rappers key to the city, especially when they're very influential. Chicago didn't know about
influential on the street side, but nothing positive. All my life, the most positive song Lil Durk ever made in his rap career.
No, but
ain't nothing positive that comes out of Durk.
You don't know what he does, but you're not living in Chicago. You don't know how many like food drives he's put together or community centers he helped build. You don't know that. Just what I'm saying. You don't know any of that.
I doubt it.
So
he doing something for O Block or something, maybe.
Who else got the key to Jay-Z got the key to the city too?
But there's just a lot of just rappers that you get. I mean, like, why y'all don't give nobody else? Why it ain't athletes or anybody else that's on a professional stage?
You know why?
Why it's just the obsession of rappers?
You know why?
What?
Because anybody on the sports stage, their careers are so short that they don't really extend to the amount of influence that, let's say, I'm talking about successful hip hop artists, not successful hip hop artists. Once a player's career is over with, it's over with. Yeah, they can get accolades for making it to the Hall of Fame, blah, 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 but they're not playing anymore, and nobody really cares. Whereas artists, they continue to make records through the years. They're making albums. Like Drake. Drake been on since 2009. It's 2025.
Right.
So I wouldn't be mad if Toronto gave him he probably does already have the key to the city.
Yeah, but that's different. We're talking about Drake. We're not talking about Lil Durk. Lil Durk is not nowhere close to a Drake level.
No,
so
he's
comparing it to an athlete level. Chicago ain't never get Jordan the key to the city.
Yes, I'm sure he has.
LeBron ain't never get a Cleveland key to the city.
No, he hasn't. But
Kobe ain't never get a key to LA.
No, he hasn't.
You know what I mean? So it just I'm talking on that level. Yeah, they ain't playing no more, but Kobe is still the name.
I don't know
LeBron
for sure. I don't think Jordan got the key to the city either, because I don't remember hearing about it.
That's just my whole point. I just don't understand the obsession of getting it
because they're not playing anymore.
It don't matter. The name holds forever.
Now LeBron might.
You still got dudes killing and crashing out over damn Jordans. Shit, the last really Metallic 5 things I heard.
No.
People still crashing out over damn shoes.
No, I agree with you. I agree with
the Jordan name ain't that. That's my whole thing.
No, the Jordan name is never going anywhere.
I'm not saying no regular, I'm not talking about no regular player. I'm talking about players that
the Jordan name is the Jordan name.
LeBron name
as long as he's still selling shoes.
Yeah, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, that name ain't going nowhere. No. Shit, KD could get a key to the city. I mean, shit, like.
Yeah.
So I just don't. The obsession of constantly giving it to rappers and stuff like that when. We listen to their music. How influential was that to kids? Like, be for real. Like I said, the most influential song this man has ever made, because honestly, it only was because he put kids in the video. All my life.
Oh yeah,
the most influential song Durk has ever made.
That was purposely made for the radio,
and it only was because he had J. Cole on it. And we all know J. Cole ain't no thug like that, so he got, let me put J. Cole on it, and it's really gonna take over.
It's really gonna take off.
Let me try to do whatever I can to get a #1 hit, because I can't do it on the music I make.
Isn't it like really his only solo? I'm not talking about being a guest star, but like his only solo radio hit, like.
No, I mean he's had.
No, hits, I know he's had songs that have been on the video, been on the radio, but I'm talking about hits like that.
I mean,
name another one.
You could say Virgil was a hit.
Okay, I give you that.
You can say that. I mean, he's had a couple songs, but not to that extent.
Virgil was a hit.
All rappers have hits, but not. We talking about radio play #1 type talk. You know what I mean? But all rappers have hits. But I mean, G Herbo had hits, but not a lot of his get radio play. You know what I mean? But I don't get the obsession, but it is what it is.
So I know everybody heard about this story. So for the last story of the night, so it's this young lady. Oh, she's a Detroit rapper. Her name is Dank DeMoss. I never heard of her. Never heard of her before. And She called for a Lyft, and the Lyft driver refused to let her into her car. Now, mind you, she's a portly lady. She's rather big.
She's a big one.
She is overweight. And we're not, and this is not to disparage her because of her size. We're just
laughing at the story. It ain't about her personally. It's
not about her personally.
It's the story itself.
It's the story itself. So this heavyweight woman calls for a Lyft driver, and the Lyft driver refused to let her enter her car because he said that she would break his shocks and damage.
Hold on.
And damage her car.
Break his shocks.
He said her getting in the car would damage his vehicle. So she is suing Lyft because she felt discriminated about. And here's her appearance on the Breakfast Club explaining her story. Like I said,
party, the Lions game or whatever.
This is a Really Bro podcast.
I ended up ordering me a Lyft. You know, it's like 15
minutes. And you order
minutes.
Lyft all the time? It's never
yes,
an issue.
I do. Mm-hmm. As I'm walking to the car, he looking funny. Doors getting unlocked. I'm just like, hell, you ain't gonna let me in your car? I'm like,
hell no.
So I put my camera out. And it's like, why you not letting me in your car? Like, I kind of peeped that's what he was on because the look at me, I seen that look before, you know, so that's how that happened.
And this is the first time this has ever happened?
The first time.
And you normally order, because I know one of the things too, people, like there was conversation like, well, she should have ordered a bigger car like the XL, but you normally order the regular cars.
Yeah, I always order the regular cars, and I feel like I don't have to order an Uber XL or
you should
XL. I feel like I don't have to do that. Like,
oh no, bro. It was a Mercedes.
To the mic, brother.
And, the same car was a Mercedes, and it's the same car.
Now this is her like her
friend has, and she rides
lawyer or whatever.
Same exact
look,
car
I
all
mean,
the time.
chilling.
Break down the incident of what happened.
Now,
hold on. They said you should have ordered the Uber XL.
Listen. We don't disparage any person. You know when you're overweight, you know that there are certain accommodations that that need to be afforded to you. There's nothing wrong with ordering an XL, Uber, or Lyft if you are of a certain size, I should say. And you want to sue Lyft, and I feel the guy was looking out for his car. He made a business decision. He made a business decision. It's not his fault that you are of a certain size. It's not anyone's fault. I'm like trying to tread carefully here.
Tread lightly.
I'm trying to tread lightly. Even though we don't do that shit on the Really Bro podcast. But I'm gonna tread lightly. I try to be nice. I try to be nice.
In today's world,
but I'm going to state my opinion. I'm going to state my opinion. You know, if you're of a certain size, there are certain accommodations that you need to be aware of. And ordering a regular car, and it was a small car, you don't know what kind of car you're getting. When it just says car, it could be a Cadillac, or it could be a little Kia Rio, a little Kia Rio.
A Corolla,
exactly,
Sonata, something. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting until you after you order it.
Exactly,
you know
and I don't feel that, you know, you have the right to sue Lyft because a man made a business decision about his car. It's his car. It's not like taxi where you're driving the company's car. Yeah, this is his own personal vehicle that, you know, he needs to transport his kids to school or take his wife to work.
And continue doing
lifts to make money to pay for the car. A lot of people, don't forget, a lot of people have their own cars and stuff, but they buy a car specifically to do Lyft and Uber. They give them a little cheap little $15,000, $10,000 car.
I mean, you got people that rent or
whatever the case is. They normally don't drive their own cars. Right. They rent or they get a little cheap little car. But still, it's his car. He made a business decision. He didn't want you breaking, you know, he felt like, you know, you would break the shocks or, you know, have his car dragging low. You know, that was his decision. And this is coming from his point of view, not from our point of view. So he made a business decision, and I see nothing wrong with that. I say, hey, you either call and get a Lyft vehicle that's more accommodating,
Uber XL, basically,
to your size. Like what I'm saying is, it doesn't have anything to do with her being overweight. Being in denial of any what word am I looking for? Being in denial of
something obvious,
of anything obvious, is not the way to go.
No,
it's not the way to go. It's unhealthy. Because I see all of these. Listen, be proud of yourself. No matter how, whether you're tiny or you're big, be proud of yourself. Do your thing.
You alive.
You kicking it. But we associate being of a certain size with being unhealthy, and that's just the way it goes. And when it comes to that means that you made the decision, you know, to eat that extra serving or eat that extra plate.
Or just being big back.
Being big back. And that's fine. You do you. But the point of the story is, you cannot blame others for the things that you do or expect everybody to accommodate you just because you put yourself in a certain situation. Is the point. I'm Big Ken TV.
Skinny Ken.
Really Bro Podcast, episode 6.
Brokey.
Hit us again next week with more controversial topics.
We appreciate all the likes.
We appreciate all the likes and the love.
Keep the comments coming. We take off positive and negative feedback. We want to make sure, you know, improve and keep improving the show. I mean, we can't, you know, we ain't never going to settle on that. We want to always keep improving. So,
and don't forget to hit us on our socials. Mine's is Spotify. You can catch each and every episode on Spotify. Stream that, run that up. Don't cost you nothing. Just play it. Play it while you on your way to work. Play it on your drive. Play it in the workspace. I don't care. Just listen to it. And YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
All right, y'all. We out.
We out.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.